Good morning, all of you. Welcome back to a course, Big Data Analytics and Business Intelligence. So, our today's topic is Hadoop Distributed File System. In previous lecture, we have seen various topics in Hadoop framework. We discussed what is Hadoop framework, what are the challenges in Hadoop, what are the components of the Hadoop, advantages, features, characteristics, and various concepts related to big data. So one thing that we understand from Hadoop framework is that there are two main components of a Hadoop framework. One is a SDFS, which is used to store the big data, and second component is MapReduce, which is used to process a big data. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about Hadoop distributed file system. So before starting this topic, we should know what is distributed file system, because SDFS is nothing but a distributed file system. So first of all, we'll understand what is distributed file system, how it helps us to improve the performance of the system, and how it works. Now here you can observe this particular diagram. This is the architecture which represents a Hadoop distributed file system. So here you can see there are 5 systems are there, or 5 nodes are there, which are connected with each other. Now here, what is the concept of distributed file system? So the concept is very simple. Suppose I have one large file whose size is of 5 GB, okay, and in one machine only 5 GB space is not available. So in that case, what we will do, we will divide this one file whose size is of 5 GB into a block of 1 GB. So in this case, 1 GB will be placed in one place, 1 GB is placed at this one, 1 GB is placed at node 3, 1 GB is placed at node 4, and 1 GB is placed at node 5. So in this way, what we have done, we have just break one large file into 5 sub file, and we kept at 5 different nodes. But all these nodes are connected with each other. And to the user, what user thinks that the data is stored only in the single machine, but in actual the data is stored in the 5 different machines. So this is what a concept of a distributed file system. That means you are distributing a file to multiple nodes. Okay, again I am repeating, you are distributing one file into multiple nodes so that it can improve the performance. Now we'll see how it helps us to improve the performance. Now again, in means anybody's mind, the question maybe arises that instead of using distributed system, why I should not increase the capacity, disk storage capacity of a one machine, or how I means why I am not going to increase the processing power of a one machine. So you can increase, it's not a matter that you are not going to increase the disk storage of one machine, but up to what level you will increase. Okay, suppose you increase your size up to one level, that is okay, but what about processing? So in order to explain this concept, I will give a simple example. Suppose I have one task, okay, I have one task which I need to done. So in that case, I need to consider two cases. In case one, I'll give that task to only one system. So that system, suppose I have given the task to only one system, and that one system will require 4 hours for its completion. So in this case, I can save my time. Now how I can save my time? So in this case, what you will do, you will divide that task into 4 subtasks, and you will assign it to 4 different machines. Now here you can see there are 4. So here there are 4 different nodes are there. So you will give what subtask to machine 1, you will provide another task to machine 2, you will provide third subtask to machine 3, and you will assign 4 tasks 4 tasks to machine number 4. So in this way, you can divide your one task into 4 different tasks and assign it to 4 different nodes. So in that case, every node will require 1 hour for completion of this particular task. So in this case, all these 4 nodes will work parallelly, so they will complete their execution within 1 hour. So ultimately my complete task will get completed in only 1 hour. In the previous case, my task required what, 4 hours. So that is the thing, that's why I'm telling you, means you can increase the processing power of single node up to certain level, but after that you need to use the concept of distributed computing, where multiple nodes will contribute, and then they will help us to improve the performance. So in this way, distributed file system will work. So I hope you understand what is distributed file system and how distributed file system help us to improve the performance. Now based on this, we have Hadoop distributed file system. So Hadoop distributed file system is what? A distributed file system present in case of a Hadoop. Okay, distributed file system present in case of a Hadoop framework is nothing but a Hadoop distributed file system. So HDFS is a primary data storage system used by your Hadoop application. So same concept is again same, distributed file system, only H word is added. Why it is? Because it is present in case of a Hadoop framework. So in HDFS, your data is distributed over several machines and it is replicated to ensure their durability. And most important thing is that this concept of Hadoop distributed file system is based on the concept of Google file system. Okay, there was a Google file system concept given by Google. So based on this concept was developed. So here you can observe name node is there, secondary name node is there, and the rest of the nodes are data nodes are there. So now we'll understand, we discuss the architecture in order to understand how HDFS actually works. So in case of a Hadoop framework, for in distributed file system, there are three types of, three types of nodes are there. One is a name node, second one is a secondary name node, and third one is a data node. So what you observe, what do you mean by name node, and what is the role of that name node? Actually in this Hadoop distributed file system, we have master slave concept. Okay, we have master slave concept. So at the master machine we have name node, and at the slave machine we have data node. Okay, so suppose consider that this is what my master node, where I have name node. So what is the role of name node? Name node is responsible for managing and controlling the data node. Okay, so we'll discuss exact role of that. Then what is the role of a data node? Data node actually the that node which stores the actual data. Okay, data node is responsible for storing a data at different node. Here you can see this is a data node which is responsible for data storage in node 1. This is a data node which is again responsible for storing of data at node 2, and so on. So name node is responsible for managing all these data node. In this particular diagram, you can able to observe that all these data nodes are connected with a single name node. So name node act as a coordinator, who act as a leader who will coordinate among all the data node, and data nodes are all those nodes which are present at the slave machine which stores the data. Because in case of a Hadoop distributed file system, what we are doing, we are storing the data at a multiple location. Now we also have another kind of node called as a secondary name node. Now what is the use of that secondary name node? Okay, so in this case, suppose name node is not going to work. So in that case, what will happen? How to recover from that particular system? So whenever a situation arises where your name node gets failed, so at that time secondary name nodes comes into picture, and it will perform the role of a name node. Okay, and again the main role of a name node is that it maintains a metadata. Name node maintains a metadata. That metadata consists of all the details. That suppose for example one file is there called as a ABC, which is being divided into 5 sub file. So where that data is to be mentioned, that data is mentioned in the name node. So which particular sub file is present at what particular data node, that information is also kept in the name node. That's why I'm telling you that name node is going to maintain a metadata. That metadata consists of how your file is being divided, where that particular file is present, what are their permission access, and so on. So all these information will be kept by the name node. So in short, we can say that name node is a main controller of that thing. And suppose name node gets failed, in that case secondary name node will help us to coordinate this task. So I hope you understand how SDFS will work. Now this is again another diagram which is similar to previous one, which also explain the task of that particular master slave concept. As I told you, in case of Hadoop distributed file system, you have master slave architecture. In case of a master node, you have name node, and at the slave machine, you have data node. Data node is actually storing your data, and name node is responsible for controlling all these data node. So these are components just we have discussed: name node, data node, and secondary name node. Now next is how actually the data is stored in SDFS. Now just look at this particular picture. Suppose I have one file called with a size of 320 MB. So in that case, what I will do, I'll divide this file into block of 3. In this case, in case of Hadoop, by default block size is 128 MB. By default its size is 128 MB, but you can change that size. Okay, but by default its size is 128 MB. That's why first of all we'll try to divide this file 128 and remaining is for 64. So my file size is of 320 MB. This is being divided into 3 blocks: block 1, block 2, block 3. Block 1 is having capacity of 128. As I told you that by default size in Hadoop is 128 MB, but it can be changed. So block 1 128 MB, block 2 is again 128 MB, and block 3 is going to have 64 MB. So in this way, this file one large file is divided into 3 subpart. Now this is what your name node, and these are all the data nodes. So this block 1 will be present at data node 1, block 2 is present at data node 2, and block 3 will be present at data node 3. So in this way, one file is divided into 3 sub file, and 3 sub files are going to store in the 3 different node. And who is going to maintain the information of this? Their information is maintained by the name node. Just I told you that name node is going to maintain the metadata. Metadata nothing but a data about a data. So in this way, your data is going to stored in the SDFS. Now next is what? Suppose a data file which is present at particular data node get lost. So what will happen at that time? How will you recover your data? Because initially we discussed that one of the feature of Hadoop framework is it is a fault tolerant. So here we explore how we can say that Hadoop is a fault tolerant in nature. So this is a diagram which gives you idea how Hadoop is a fault tolerant and how we can recover a data. So this particular diagram will gives you idea about how data loss problem is overcome in a Hadoop framework. So here what you observe that this is a file 1 which is being divided into 4 different blocks. Say block 1, block 2, block 3 and block 4. So in that case you observe that there is exactly 3 occurrence for every block. Suppose here you can see block 1 is present here, first occurrence, second occurrence and third occurrence. So why is it so? Because every block of a file, every sub file can be stored at a 3 different location. That means one sub file is replicated at 3 different location. Suppose your suppose your block 1 which is present at site 1, suppose block 1 is present at this particular site. So suppose just because of XYZ reason this system not working properly or it gets failed. So in that case what will happen? You can get your data from this machine. Suppose this machine also get failed, you can get data from this machine. So by default in case of Hadoop framework, every block or every sub file is replicated at 3 different locations. So that is what I am going to tell you, that every file this file 1 is divided into 4 blocks. So here you can see block 1 is present at 3 different location. Then we can check for block 2. Block 2 is also present at 3 different location, first occurrence, second occurrence and third occurrence. So in this way Hadoop framework can be called as a fault tolerant, and that facility is provided, that feature is provided by means of SDFS. Because in case of a SDFS there is a mechanism of replication of a data replication concept is there, through which we can replicate a single sub file at 3 different location, through which you can overcome the problem of data loss. Okay. Now next one is, what are the characteristics of Hadoop distributed file system? So there are multiple characteristics are there. Very first, you can use Hadoop HDFS for storing large data set. Then here, write once and read many times. You can write this program and you can use it multiple times. Then streaming the data access. Then you have again commodity hardware is there. Data replication, just we have seen, placing the single sub file at a multiple location. By default, at it will be kept at 3 different location. High throughput, as we have seen, as we are using the concept of distributed file system, ultimately it helps to improve the processing power by means of distributed computing. Then moving computation is there, that means you are going to transfer the work from one machine to another machine. And file system namespace. So these are the various features, or we can say characteristics, of a Hadoop distributed file system. Now next one is where to use Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so we can say that when you have a huge amount of data, especially unstructured data, when we have huge amount of unstructured data, at that time Hadoop distributed file system can be used. Then streaming data access, that means the time to read a whole data set is more important than latency in reading the first. But HDFS is built on write once and read many times pattern. This is what a important thing about streaming data access. Uh, then commodity hardware, it works on low cost hardware. That is again the thing about the HDFS. So HDFS can be used for this particular 3 reasons: very large files, streaming data access, and commodity hardware. Now next we need to understand where not to use Hadoop distributed file system, where it will not get work or you will not get that much improved performance. First, low latency data access, that means application which required very less time to access the first data should not use HDFS, as it is giving importance. It is means what? HDFS is giving importance to whole data rather than time to fetch the first record. This is what a important thing that where we cannot use HDFS. Then suppose we have lots of small files are there, so in that case it is not recommended to use Hadoop distributed file system. And suppose you come to know that you need to perform multiple writes, then at that time also Hadoop distributed file system is not recommended to use. It should not be used when we have to write multiple times, because we have seen one feature of Hadoop, that write once and read multiple times. So just because of this, we are not going to use the HDFS where we required write operation multiple times. So because it works on the phenomenon of write once and read multiple times. So this is how the Hadoop HDFS architecture is there. So I hope you understand how distributed file system works, how HDFS work in Hadoop, how it helps us to improve the performance, what is the role of name node, what is the role of data node, how it stores the data, how fault tolerance feature is provided by HDFS, how data replication help us to improve the reliability of a data. So all these things we have discussed in today's lecture. So I hope you understand. So here I'm going to stop. Thank you.